I'm Walter, and this is my wife, Eleanor. We've been married for 58 years. And I need you to hear something before you scroll away. Before you think this is just another old couple giving advice. What we're about to tell you, I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and told me in 1966. The day I married this woman, thinking love was enough. Thinking if we just loved each other hard enough, everything would work out. It doesn't work like that.
Walter says we almost didn't make it. He's not exaggerating. There were years, I'm talking real years, where I'd lie in bed next to him and feel completely alone. There was a time in the 90s where I packed a bag. I didn't leave, but I packed it. I sat in the closet with that bag and cried for 2 hours. People see us now, 58 years, and they think it was smooth. They think we figured it out early.
We didn't figure out anything early. We made mistakes that cost us years. Closeness we can't get back. Words we can't unsay. But we learned. Eventually, painfully, we learned.
And the thing we learned, the thing nobody tells you, is that we didn't fix our marriage by doing more, by adding more date nights or more communication or more effort. We fixed it by stopping, by identifying the things that were slowly poisoning us and cutting them out.
5 things. 5 patterns we quit. Any one of them could have ended us. If you're married, if you're in a relationship, if you're even thinking about spending your life with someone, you need to hear this, because I promise you at least one of these is happening right now. In your home, in your relationship, you might not even see it yet. I didn't. Not for years. The first thing we stopped doing, we live in a world that's obsessed with more romance, more communication, more quality time, more date nights, more effort. Every article you read, every video you watch, every piece of advice you get, it's always about adding something. Do this. Try that. Start this new habit. Learn this new technique.
I see it with our grandchildren. They're constantly reading about the 5 things you should do every morning, the 7 habits of happy couples, the 10 ways to reconnect with your spouse, and they're exhausted. They're doing all these things and still feeling like failures, like they're not doing enough, like if they just added one more thing, it would finally work.
I get it. I really do. We did the same thing for years. Decades, actually. When things got hard, we tried to add our way out of it. Let's go on vacation, that'll fix it. Let's talk more, that'll help. Let's try harder, that'll solve everything. And none of it worked. Not really. Not lasting. Because here's what nobody tells you about marriage. Sometimes the problem isn't what you're not doing. It's what you are doing. What you keep doing. What you've been doing so long you don't even see it anymore.
It's like a garden. Everyone talks about what to plant, what seeds to buy, what fertilizer to use, how much to water. But the best gardeners know something else. They know you have to pull weeds. You have to prune. You have to cut away what's dying, so what's living can actually grow.
Our marriage didn't start thriving when we added more stuff. It started thriving when we identified the weeds, the patterns that were choking everything good. We didn't need another vacation. We needed to stop the thing we were doing that made us dread being alone together. We didn't need to talk more. We needed to stop saying the things that made talking feel dangerous.
5 things. That's what we found. 5 behaviors, 5 patterns, 5. I don't know what to call them. Poisons, maybe. 5 poisons we'd been feeding our marriage without knowing it.
When we actually identified them and cut them out, everything changed. Not overnight, not magically, but real change, lasting change. So that's what we want to share with you today. Not what to add, what to stop. The first thing we stopped doing. The first thing we stopped doing, thinking about old flames as better than what we had. I need to be honest about something I've never said publicly before. Her name was Linda. We dated for 2 years in college. First love. The kind that burns so bright you think nothing will ever compare. She moved to California. I stayed. Life went on. I met Eleanor. I fell in love again. I got married, but Linda never fully left.
I didn't know about this for years. Walter never mentioned her, but I could feel something. This distance sometimes, like he was somewhere else even when he was right next to me.
For the first 15 years of our marriage, I let Linda live rent-free in my head. Not constantly, not obsessively, but she was there, like a ghost in the corner of the room. Whenever Eleanor and I fought, whenever things got hard, whenever the romance faded into routine, I'd think about Linda. I'd wonder what life would have been like. I'd remember only the good parts. The excitement, the passion, the way everything felt new. And I'd compare those golden memories to the reality of marriage. Dirty dishes, arguments about money, exhaustion from raising kids. Reality always lost.
Or when he finally told me years later, it hurt. I won't lie. But it also explained so much. I'd spent years feeling like I was competing with something I couldn't see. And I was. I just didn't know it was a ghost.
After my friend Thomas, God rest his soul, he's the one who finally woke me up. We were fishing one morning. I made some comment about wondering whatever happened to Linda. Thomas looked at me hard. He said, "You know what you're doing, right? You're comparing a fantasy to a real woman. Linda in your head never aged, never got tired, never disappointed you, because she's not real. She's a highlight reel with all the bad parts edited out. Eleanor shows up every day. That ghost shows up never." He was right. The Linda I thought about wasn't the real Linda. She was fiction, a collection of perfect moments that my memory had polished until they glowed. Meanwhile, Eleanor was right in front of me, imperfect, real, actually there, and I was measuring her against a ghost.
The thing about ghosts is they can't disappoint you. They can't bore you. They can't have bad breath or gain weight or forget your anniversary. Real people do all those things. That's what makes them real.
So I stopped letting Linda live in my head, not by forcing it, but by catching myself every time I started to drift there, and by choosing to build a highlight reel of my actual marriage instead. The lesson memory is a liar. It shows you sunsets and hides the storms. The person beside you, flaws, and all is worth more than any ghost of what could have been. The second thing we stopped doing, bringing family into our fights. This one's on me. Entirely on me. And I'm ashamed of it even now. We were fighting about money. I don't remember the specifics anymore. But I remember what I said, word for word. "You're just like your mother. She could never manage money either."
I can still feel it. That moment. It's been over 30 years, and I can still feel it in my chest. My mother and I had a complicated relationship. She struggled with money her whole life, made choices that hurt our family. I'd shared all of that with Walter in confidence, in vulnerability, because I trusted him. And he used it. He took the thing I was most ashamed of, my fear of becoming my mother, and he threw it at me like a weapon.
The look on her face. I'd seen Eleanor angry before, sad before. But this was different. This was betrayal. She didn't speak to me for 4 days, and she was right not to.
When you share your life with someone, you share your wounds, your family history, the soft places that still hurt. That's sacred. It's given in trust. When they use it against you, even once something breaks, you learn that the things you share might come back to cut you.
Took years to rebuild that trust.
Years.
And honestly, I'm not sure it ever fully came back. We made a rule after that. An absolute rule. No matter how angry we get, we never bring family into it. Never use what the other person shared in vulnerability as ammunition. The lesson: your partner's wounds are not weapons. The moment you use them, you stop being their safe place. And marriage without safety isn't marriage. It's just two people surviving each other.
The third thing, we stopped doing saying I'm fine when we weren't. This one was mine. My prison. For years, whenever Walter asked how I was, I'd say I'm fine. Even when I wasn't. Especially when I wasn't. I thought I was being strong, not burdening him, handling things on my own.
I believed her. That's the thing. When someone you love says they're fine, you want to believe them. So I did. I had no idea she was drowning.
It came to a head when I was 53. I'd been struggling with anxiety for years, maybe a decade. Panic attacks I hid. Nights I couldn't sleep. A constant feeling of dread I couldn't explain. And Walter didn't know. Because every time he got close to seeing it, I'd say those 3 words. I'm fine.
First, devastation that she'd been suffering alone for so long. Second, something I'm not proud of: anger. Why didn't you tell me I'm your husband? We're supposed to face things together.
He was right to feel that. I'd shut him out. Built a wall he couldn't see and therefore couldn't climb. I thought I was protecting him. But protecting him from what? From knowing his own wife.
I'm fine sounds like a small thing. It sounds harmless. But it's not. It's a door closing. And if you close it enough times, eventually people stop knocking.
We made a new rule. When one of us asks, "How are you really?" asks, we tell the truth. Even when it's ugly. Even when we don't have the energy for a long conversation. Even just saying I'm not okay, but I can't talk about it yet, is better than I'm fine. The lesson I'm fine is often the loneliest lie we tell. The whole point of marriage is having someone to not be fine with.
Fourth thing we stopped doing: comparing ourselves to other couples. We had these friends, Don and Marie. For 30 years, they were the couple we measured ourselves against.
They seemed perfect. At dinner parties, Don would refill Marie's wine without her asking. She'd laugh at his jokes like they were still dating. They'd finish each other's sentences. We'd drive home from their house, and I'd feel like a failure. Why can't we be like them, I'd ask. They never fight. They're still so in love.
I felt it too. This constant sense that we were doing something wrong. That other couples like Don and Marie, had figured out something we hadn't.
Then Don and Marie got divorced. After 41 years. Everyone was shocked. They seemed so happy.
Marie told Eleanor the truth a few months later. They'd been miserable for decades. The wine refilling, the laughing, the perfect image, all of it was performance. The lesson: every marriage has hidden wars. Stop measuring your real relationship against performances you'll never see behind. Walter, the fifth thing we stopped doing: waiting for each other to change first. This one almost ended us more than any other. For years, we were stuck in this pattern. I'd think I'll be more romantic when she stops nagging. She'd think I'll stop nagging when he's more romantic. Nobody moved. Nobody changed. Because we were both waiting.
It's a trap. A terrible trap. Because someone has to go first. I decided to be the one with more courage. I stopped waiting for Walter to be more romantic. I just started being warmer, kinder, more affectionate, without keeping score, without expecting anything back.
And something shifted. Not immediately. But over weeks, months, I started responding. Not because she'd earned it or because I owed her, but because her warmth thawed something in me. I went first on other things. I stopped waiting for her to appreciate me before I showed appreciation. I just did it.
That's how it works. Someone has to break the cycle. Someone has to love first, forgive first, change first.
The lesson: at the end of your life, you won't remember who changed first. You'll only remember whether you were brave enough to try.
So, how do you know if your marriage is worth fighting for, if there's still something there underneath all the hurt and distance?
Don't measure it by passion or romance or how you feel on anniversaries. Look at the small things, the daily things, the things nobody sees but you two.
Ask yourself these questions. And be honest. Really honest. When your partner walks into a room, do you feel anything, even something small, a tiny lift? Or is there nothing, or worse, a heaviness? That reaction, the one you can't fake it, tells you something. When was the last time you laughed together? Not polite chuckling. Real laughter. The kind that makes your stomach hurt. If you can't remember, that's a sign.
Do you still touch, not just in bed? The small touches. A hand on the shoulder when passing by. Fingers brushing when you hand them coffee. Those touches are the pulse of a marriage. When they stop, something's dying.
When they're sick, when they're struggling, when they're at their worst, what do you feel, annoyed or protective? Your answer matters more than you think.
Do you fight about the same things over and over, never resolving anything, just the same argument with different words, year after year? Or have you learned slowly, painfully, how to actually hear each other?
When you imagine your future 10 years from now, 20 years are they in it due? You want them there.
Here's what I've learned after 58 years. Marriage isn't measured in years. It's measured in choices. Thousands of small choices. To stay, to try, to stop the things that poison it, to keep choosing each other even when it's hard, especially when it's hard.
Or if you looked at those questions and found enough yeses, enough small sparks still flickering, you have something worth fighting for. But you have to actually fight for it. Not by adding more, by subtracting what's killing it. Find your poisons. Name them. And stop. Our marriage has been hard. Really hard sometimes. We've hurt each other in ways I'm still ashamed of.
Leave a comment. Tell us which of these 5 hit closest to home. Was it the ghost? The weaponized wounds? The I'm fine prison? The comparison trap? The waiting game? We read every comment? At our age, we've got the time.
Subscribe if you want more conversations like this. We talk about the things that actually matter. No filters. No performance. Just what we've learned from 58 years of trying to love each other well.